Good afternoon. Welcome back to Patterson Ice Center. I'm Matt Gajtka for more live high school hockey as Forest Hills Central takes on Salem in the first of 3 games on the East Rink today. Yesterday, Forest Hills Central broke a 3-game slump with a 3-2 shootout win against Huron Valley. The Rangers trailed twice in that game before coming from behind and then picking up the win in the tiebreaker. No overtime in these West Michigan Showcase games. So we go right to the shootout, and Forest Hills Central got the winner from Michael Cerny to take down a state-ranked team in the Huron Valley Titans out of D3. Forest Hills itself is ranked number 8 in Division I in the most recent Michigan High School Hockey Hub poll. Number 8 in D1, but with a 4-4 record now after I mentioned that 3-game losing streak that cut down what was a promising start at 3-1. As for Salem, they're still trying to find their footing in 2025-26. Young team, just one senior, and a host of underclassmen, including 4 freshmen on the roster. They had just 13 shots on goal last night as Caledonia got ahead early and did not let up. 6-1 loss for Salem last night. That dropped the Rocks to 1-5 on the year. Warm-ups are over. We'll have the national anthem in just a moment, and then we'll bring it on back for the drop of the puck, day 2 of the West Michigan Hockey Showcase from Patterson Ice Center in Grand Rapids. Starting goalies for both sides. For Forest Hills Central, no debate there. It's the man who's played every minute of every game. Nolan Bateson, the senior. He's got a record of 4-4, a save percentage of .835, and a goals against average of 2.45. As for Salem, it's the freshman. Ryder Kuzak gets his 3rd start, .750 save percentage, and a 5.50 goals against. He's 1-1 on the season. The drop of the puck upcoming. Forest Hills Central, again coached by Bill McSween. They're playing on their home ice, as you see from the Forest Hills graphics, Forest Hills Central graphics around the backside of the rink, and a quick icing against Salem just 5 seconds in. The Rangers in their white home uniforms, green pants, white helmets with the blue, or excuse me, with the green stripe down the middle. Salem's in the blue. The Salem Rocks. That unmistakable logo. Snapshot from the point by Michael Timmer. Ended up going wide of Kuzak, and the Rocks collected on the near wing side. Carson Cunningham forced it up the near side boards. 3 Rangers in the area. It's back in the possession of Bo Fraley. He takes a look, headmans it, but that's taken over by Hayden Tanner in the corner. Fed it over to Michael Timmer. It's the D pairing of Tanner and Timmer, and the puck ends up out of play over the near side glass. Well, Salem on the year, just the one win. They beat Grosse Pointe South 4-2 a couple of weekends ago. But recently, last 3 games, they have given up 23 goals combined. 8-0 loss to Livonia Stevenson. 9-1 loss to Heartland, which is the top team in the entire state by many people's estimation. And then last night, 6-1 to Caledonia was the result. Timmer a shot, and Kuzak makes the blocker save. Hooper snaps it across. Far wing drive by Magnus Kramer, blocked in front. The Rocks come the other way. It's Graham Ellis, number 93. Ellis, good move, but lost control of the puck in the slot. And the Rangers go to work. James Walker trying to find that puck in the neutral zone. Knocked to the near boards. Walker slaps it in deep. Walker on the season, 3 goals, tied for the team lead with Benny Milok, who is certainly one of the usual suspects for Forest Hills Central. If it's Forest Hills Central, there's a Milok in the lineup. It seems like that's been the case for I don't know how many years, maybe 5 or 6 at this point. As Benny continues on with the squad, Sammy, his older brother. Rajasekaran on the forward check, forced the turnover, but it's back to the Rangers line. Nudged up the wall by Luca Thomas, junior D-man. Thomas has it taken away. Ty Wingrove moving to the inside on his backhand, but it's poke checked expertly by Nolan Bateson, right to the front of the net, and the puck hops to the end boards. Twisted pass from Zielinski over to Wingrove, couldn't get the shot away, and back comes Rajasekaran. 1 against 3, didn't have much of a chance there, and he lost control of the puck to Fraley. He headmans it, redirected ahead by Zielinski. Hooper retrieves, towering D-man for Forest Hills Central, still just a sophomore. Speaking of towering, Magnus Kramer, the junior, dished it over. Sybinga once and twice, and the freshman forward does get it out. Sybinga takes a swing at it. It's in the direction of Quaid, but played away from him as Dylan Wind dumps in for Salem. 14:23 to go in the period. Right to the front, save, rebound, Bateson, it goes in. Salem has the lead, 1-0 on a scramble play in front of the net. Bateson made a great first stop, but it looks like Dylan Wind is going to get credit for that goal. 14:17 to go in the first, and the Rocks strike first on day 2 of the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. That puck was pinballing around forever, it seemed. And Salem just hoping for something to go their way, and they did get that bounce. For Wind, if it is his goal, it's his first goal, first point of the season. So the Rangers have to play from behind yet again, like they did for most of the game yesterday. Milok swirls out high, gave it to Timmer. Pass back to Milok, his slapper deflected high over the glass. Off the rink, out of play. Dylan Wind, the junior forward, sets off a spirited celebration for the Rocks. Long trip in here from Salem, so they're motivated to get something out of it. Snapshot from the point by Tanner, did not get through. Blocked by Carson Cunningham. Timmer, though, recycles it near wing boards. Forced right back into Rangers real estate. Timmer's got to take it there. Cunningham confronting him. Then Timmer ran right over Wingrove. And the puck loose to the near side. Tanner a couple of whacks at it. The alternate captain for the Rangers couldn't get it to J.J. Sybinga. So we've got J.J. and Benny Sybinga on the Rangers roster. I'll try to use first names when I can. Flipped out by J.J. Pierzynski in pursuit as well, unable to get there. Here's Fricano, one of the top point getters for Forest Hills Central. The Rangers at 4-4 haven't scored a ton of goals, but they've been pretty darn good defensively. They have played well in front of their goalie Bateson. Up the near wing. Timmer. Walker joins the fray. Timmer over the blue line. That's offside against the Rangers. So looking back at the Rangers' schedule so far. Wins in 3 of their first 4 games. They beat Forest Hills Northern Eastern 3-1 on opening night. Then they edged Sparta 2-1. Lost to Rockford 4-1, but then they blanked Grand Rapids Catholic Central, their Rue Division rival here. But then a 3-game losing streak. Blanked by Caledonia 5-0. A loss 3-1 to Heartland in a spirited battle. Speaking of a battle, the puck came free in front of the Rocks net, and Graham Ellis scoops and scoots down the wing. Can't get the pass to the front. Alex Lay lifted it. Taken away by Reed Bateson, freshman D. But turned over. Graham Ellis on the counter. His backhand. Bateson made the save. Ellis got to the rebound, but he flipped it right through the crease, up in the air to the far boards. Noah Rajasekaran, his pass ahead looking for Fisher, did not connect. Lars Dupuis on the forechecking pressure. Forced the errant pass, and that's icing against Salem with 11:43 remaining in the first. Also recently for Forest Hills Central, they lost 4-0 to Brighton. So to get a couple of goals on the board yesterday in regulation, that was a relief for them. That is a delayed offside, rifled in from just outside the blue line by Hayden Tanner, who slams his stick down. I think he thought he had kept it in, but from up here, it appeared to be the proper call. And we are almost right on that blue line. That's the attacking blue line for the Rangers in this period. Forest Hills in 5th place in the 8-team OK Rue Division. Salem, by the way, plays in the Kensington Lakes Activity Association, the KLAA. They're in 5th there. Fisher a shot. Stick save by the freshman goalie Kuzak, who when he stands up is just barely above that crossbar. He's got some growing to do for sure, but he's getting thrown into the fray here for Salem in varsity hockey. Lobbed in on net. Stick save by Bateson on the opportunity from out by the point. That was Zach Shembry who got it through traffic. J.J. Sybinga tries the right wing. Does a button hook in the corner. Good pass out high. Milok ripped the shot, blocked. Carter Obrakite got in the way of that. Wingrove the toss in. And the Rocks get a line change. Pierzynski driving wide. Kicked it by Cunningham. But the Rocks are playing an energetic brand of hockey right now. They're taking it to the Rangers. One of the 3 host schools. Well, I guess 4 host schools now that Caledonia plays here at Patterson. Fraley trying to escape. Pressured there. Comes free to Luca Thomas out high. He sends it right back deep into the mix. But Timmer was dispossessed. That's Nolan Timmer. Got Nolan and Michael Timmer. 3 sets of brothers on this Forest Hills Central roster. Brady Caudreau the dump it. He goes in after it, but turned over to Nolan Timmer. Lead pass, James Walker, the senior. Great move to the inside, but poke checked at the last second by Shembry. Fraley Snaps the pass on right wing to Cunningham. At the half boards, threw it out in front of the net, and it's off a stick. Back to the blue line, Schembri. Bunts it down the wall. 9:17 to go in the first period. 1-0 Salem. On an early goal by Dylan Wind off a rebound. Avery Thompson handed it right back over to the Rangers. And swatted to neutral ice by Timmer. All the way down, it does go for icing. Well, in results yesterday in the West Michigan Hockey Showcase, on this rink we saw Catholic Central beat Bay Reps 2-1 in a shootout. Just like Forest Hill Central, using the tie-breaking format to pick up a victory. Rajasekaran with some space, hits Fisher. Little overlap and a weave at the blue line. Rajasekaran on this puck. Starts the cycle with Fisher. Fisher cross-checked Marcy to create some space. Jack Hanner, can he get it out? He can't. Hooper held the line. Hooper again. Handcuffed him a bit. Now he cradles and fires, and a save by Kuzak, and no rebound. Other action on this rink yesterday, Grand Rapids Christian held on for a 6-5 win against Big Rapids in the highest scoring game of the day. I mentioned Caledonia beat Salem 6-1. On the West rink, Forest Hills Northern Eastern got its first win of the season. Drive from the point, save made by Kuzak as he denied J.J. Seibinger, or excuse me, that was Luke Hooper. 8, not 9. Now Hooper steps up, keeps the puck alive in the offensive zone. Quaid drags it off the wall, and he's got Cerny with him. Collision as Salem player threw a hit on a Ranger over there. That was Quaid who took the bump. Ellis in neutral ice, stripped of the puck by Cerny, who heads in after it. Cerny trying to center, the puck drifted away from him. Timmer couldn't keep it alive. Tanner helps out. Over to Michael Timmer. He's got some room as Fraley backs off. Timmer, sharp angle chance off the chest of Kuzak. So far, so good for Kuzak. Zielinski taking over, centering, and Milok with the back check to take it away from Graham Ellis. Seibinger slips it through Milok, and he scores! Great shot from Benny Milok. His team best 4th goal of the season. We're tied 1-1, 7:13 to go in the first. Give the assist to Seibinger. For JJ, his 2nd point of the year, first assist. 2-man rush. Works to perfection for the Rangers. And they've knotted it up with 7:12 remaining in the first period. So it took 7 minutes, but the Rangers are back on level terms after giving up the first goal. Offside, Salem. Milok from Seibinger, and Benny Milok is off to a strong start. As a senior, that's now 4 goals on the board. This is the 9th game for the Rangers. Coach McSween dapping up a couple of his players, including Milok as soon as they got off the ice. A low shot beating Kuzak to the blocker side. And the puck iced by Salem all the way down. On the West rink yesterday, undefeated Trenton stayed that way by taking care of Granville 4-1. Houghton scored a goal in the last 20 seconds to edge East Grand Rapids. That was 2-1 in a regulation final. And I mentioned Forest Hills Northern Eastern beat Capital City 3-1. I don't think I mentioned the opponent, but first win of the year for the Bird Dogs. That was their 8th game. And we'll hold on that thought as some trouble there for Salem. Wiedenbach tries to clear up the far side. That was the 2nd straight game in which the Bird Dogs carried a lead into the 3rd. Catholic Central came back on them last Saturday, but this time they got the job done. Headman pass from Tommy Neal. Off the stick of Cunningham. Reed Bateson pulls up behind his net and lost control of the puck. Wiedenbach closed out the space. Cunningham centering, deflected away. Out near the point, Fraley banged it down the wall. Fraley toward goal, and Bateson didn't react until very late, but he made the blocker save with those beige, leather-looking pads. Old school appearance to those, although I assure you they are not real leather. Cunningham cutting in. Pried off the puck, keeps on going with 5:16 to go in the period. Turned over to Fraley, another shot. Bateson the save, rebound available, and jabbed away and out of the zone. The Rangers get a line change. Salem trying to catch them in it, but the pass unable to be handled by Caudreau. Timmer scoots it up the near wing. Sybinga allows it to deflect off his stick. Over to Schembri. Turnover though. Timmer on his front foot. Sybinga, that's Benny Sybinga, giving it away. Schembri skates it out of danger, and down the wall it goes. Dylan Wind. Wind has a man in front, but he couldn't get the pass through. Rejected by Michael Timmer as Gavin Edison was wide open in front of the net. And the Rangers guilty of icing here. 4:28 remaining in the first. On the West Rink today, Granville and Houghton were tied 3-3 on last check in the 3rd period. Figured that might be a good one. Next up on this rink, Grand Rapids Catholic Central challenges the Huron Valley Titans, who gave the Rangers a great game yesterday. And then we'll finish up on the East Rink with Caledonia against Big Rapids. Sybinga pulls the trigger from between the circles, but he just missed. Out top, point shot, save Kuzak, rebound there, but Pierzynski couldn't stash it in. Hayden Tanner delivered the puck, and Pierzynski nearly on the spot for the rebound. Milok relays it right through Pierzynski, who keeps on chugging down the right wing. J.J. Sybinga run off on a hit. The Rocks try to clear up the near wing. Hooper steps up from point position. So he activates, see if the Rangers can keep the puck in the O zone. They cannot, but Hooper with that long reach knocks the lead pass away from Ellis, who thought he might have had a step. James Walker driving it from the bottom edge of the right circle. Stick save by Kuzak. Hooper connects with Timmer, but that's offside just barely at the blue line to our left. 3:24 to go in the first. First game of 3 on this rink today. The West Side will host 4 games, including Grand Rapids Christian versus Capital City at 1:15. Forest Hills Northern Eastern against Bay Reps at 3:30. And East Grand Rapids versus Trenton at 5:45. Fricano let it go, but missed over the net. Walker takes it back. Kramer hammered by a Rock defender, but the Rangers keep the puck. Hooper, D-to-D, over to Timmer, shooting, and that's tipped off the goal frame. Hooper trying to cut in, back to Timmer, another shot from distance, and this one Kuzak sees all the way, and he cradles it for the whistle. 2:50 remaining in the first. This is the second year for the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. We're so glad to bring it to you in various forms. I saw my good friend Nate Dreyer from Michigan Sports Radio, friend and colleague, as I call football for Michigan Sports Radio. He's broadcasting the Granville-Houghton game. Wrister off Kuzak and poked in. It trickles over the goal line. And Raja Sekaran got the last touch on it. As he went right to the goal, he could sense it jumped off of Kuzak, and it was loose. Noah Rajasekaran, the sophomore forward, cashes in. It is his first goal. So keep that puck. Number 22 in white and green is on the score sheet. And we'll see about an assist. I thought that was Kramer who gunned the shot through, but that might have been Hayden Tanner, actually. We'll listen for the announcement. Yeah, it's from Tanner and Timmer. And another shot from the left side by Fisher, turned away. Dupuis helps it back to the point. Lars Dupuis to the faceoff dot, and Pierzynski twisting around. Pierzynski goes all the way back. Another shot by Tanner off the body of Kuzak. Coming off the bench with a head of steam is Milok to Luka Thomas. Fed it back into Milok's corner. The senior's on it. He shoots. Sticked out of play by Kuzak with 1:43 remaining in the frame. So the goal reads Rajasekaran from Tanner and Timmer. The two D-men on the ice at that time get the helpers. And the Rangers have their first lead of the afternoon. That was a greasy one. Just barely got over the goal line, but there's no room for pictures on the score sheet. Just numbers. Sybinga takes control in the slot on his backhand. J.J. Sybinga delivers it over to Milok. Milok speeds it around the kick plate. Kramer backpedaling, and his shot was blocked. Gaudreau got in the way of that, nearly was able to escape for a breakaway chance, or at least an odd man rush chance, but Kramer recovered well. Thompson turning out of his own end. Off of Thomas's skate and right over to Gaudreau, who shoots high and wide against Bateson. Wiedenbach dashes behind the goal for Salem. Last minute of play in the period. Schembri wristing off a skate, and Thomas has it. Scoots it over in the direction of Quaid, but he couldn't clear. Long distance shot from Thompson, gloved and kept by Bateson. Nolan Bateson stops the music with 48 seconds to go in the period. So Salem got an understandable boost from scoring first, but it's been more about the Rangers controlling the puck and dictating play in the last several minutes, and they've gotten 2 goals for those efforts. Eichner, up the far wall it goes, and that's icing against Salem yet again. 35 seconds left. Well, the Rangers aiming to make it 2 wins in a row. Salem trying to break out of this 3-game slump. Pump toward the goal. Loose. Fricano couldn't turn it on frame. Ellis helps it out to center. Cleared to the side by Hooper. And that's offside against Salem. That puck hit the linesman, I think, or at the very least, the linesman got in the way of that. There's only so much room out there. Always feel for the men in stripes when they got to essentially just try to hide on the side wall and hope the puck doesn't hit them. Easier said than done. Nolan Timmer wristing off the stick of Kuzak. Deflected near a wall. 12 seconds left. Bateson shot and tipped in front by Walker, and a save by Kuzak again. 7 seconds remaining. The Rangers continue to hunt. High shot goes just wide. Fricano had the opportunity, and a penalty coming up. Fricano was hit up high. As it turns out, roughing is called against Salem with just 0.9 seconds remaining on the clock. Bo Fraley, junior D-man, goes to the penalty box, and Forest Hill Central will have a power play when we start the second period. They have an outside chance of getting a puck on net if Milok finds a way to shoot. Milok at the dot, try to jam it toward the net, and Wiedenbach knew what he was doing. He put a knee down and he blocked it. But in the end, Forest Hill Central carries a 2-1 lead into the first intermission. Goals by Milok and Rajasekaran. About 5 minutes apart, turned an early 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 advantage. Back after 10 minutes for more at the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. Stay with us.
of the crew too?
I went to bed. I know myself. Once I had gone down there,
Any fireball shots?
because Jason, if I had gone down there, that would have been it. That was on top of other stuff, though, wasn't it? Look at, I was this close, and then I'm like, Bob is not here to tell me to go to my room. So I am not doing it. Because he's like, I know myself. That would have been a very bad situation.
It's either all in or not.
Yeah. Now I'm having FOMO. I was this close, I'm like,
Are you guys just hanging out or playing euchre? Nobody wanted to play.
On to drink. 40 beers. Followed by Crown Royal Peach. That's nuts. So who was down there? Scott was down there too? He looked like it this morning.
He'll be there. Yeah, he'll drink. Bob and them played a couple years together.
That's a shocker. Was Ron down there? Yeah.
Gajtka and them down there?
Jason wasn't part of it, huh? Wow. Yeah. Just by himself? Oh, did they? Yeah. I should have done it. I should have done it because it's the last, Jack tournament I've had, right? No, Bob's going to Travis.
When is that tournament?
29th, 30th, 31st.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they go on the 29th, back on the 31st. New Year's Eve. Jake said what, they'll be back by 7 at the latest. Yeah. I'm just curious. I'm like, that's a weird set of dates, I guess. Because isn't it usually like right after Christmas, right? Oh, that just messed up your whole week. Let's see, Traverse City,
I'll be in
Cabo.
Cabo. We use spring break. So into March. Yeah. We go into March. You guys got a timeshare down there too?
You guys go spring break and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we go every year.
Do ya?
We have timeshares. Early on, when the kids were younger, we'd bring them every other year, and now we bring them, but we're really only bringing Charlotte and Bo.
Oh yeah, the other two.
The other three are in college.
Yeah, that screws things up. I found that out last year. The college spring break versus the high school spring break. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I.
It makes it cheaper. You don't have to take
There
the
you go.
kids.
There's that's the good part of it.
It's like, sorry,
Hey, sorry, Siege, you're staying home.
you're in college.
You'd be okay with it. You'd probably prefer it. Like, sure, I'll do. And Jack and Em, neither of them have talked about doing anything spring break wise. Their senior year spring break, I kind of figured there'd be something, but they're like, nothing. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I don't know. They might be doing something like that again this year, but like, neither of them are big into that kind of
Oh,
thing.
senior year.
Yeah.
We sent Travis with everybody else. We still went to
What did he
Cabo.
go? He still went to Cabo.
We went to Cabo.
Like,
He went with the whole crew, and then my buddy from Maryland, I grew up with real close. He's close to the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
He went down there and hung out because he knew some of the parents, like Jason.
Oh, he went down with
he
the
went
kids?
down.
No?
Yeah, he has no kids,
Oh,
and he's real
like
close to
his-
Trav and them.
Travis's surrogate.
So he, yeah,
Yeah.
they just had a good time.
They looked like they had a great time last year. It's just never my two, but for whatever reason, that's just not
I
there.
told Bo he better get his senior class going to Cabo because we're going
Yeah.
to Cabo. I like going
Why
there.
would you
I
not
enjoy
go?
there. I go fishing.
I've
We know
never
the
been
restaurants
there.
we hit.
Never been
We
to Cabo.
enjoy it.
Looks beautiful.
It's safe enough for me to be like, all right, kids, you guys want to go clubbing, like the older ones?
Oh, yeah, is
Go
it?
down there,
Okay.
just be home.
No
You guys are on the
problem.
public side, right? Are you guys on the public side? Public beach side? Yeah, yeah, we're on the last resort. Yeah,
That's
before the
awesome.
art. We're on the last resort for the art.
So see, you get Brady go next year, you get Bo to go next year. That's two. Now you just get the rest of them going down there.
Like when Sophia's in their class or whatever, whoever's class it is, they all stayed at the Hard Rock. Like their senior class. But her parents and all them, they all stayed at our resort. It's quiet, our resort's quiet. It's on a free lake.
Is the Hard Rock safe? Is that
Yeah.
same area?
And you got there's all clubs in it. And
Okay.
you got to be like, yeah. Any of those resorts are nice. We go to the office every year to have breakfast.
Second period begins with Forest Hills Central on a power play, their first of the afternoon. I'm Matt Gajtka. Thank you for joining me on my own channel for this game. I'll be over on the Catholic Central Cougar Puck Radio channel for the second game on this rink today. Following this one immediately, it'll be Cougars versus Titans, the Huron Valley co-op team. Here's the drop of the puck, and the Rangers with it. Tanner nearly mishandled as Alex Lay was right there in his face. Milok winds it up. He's got some speed, hands off to Pierzynski, shooting, but it was on that wet ice, and so he partially fanned on it. There's some noticeable water out there still after the Zamboni did its work, and that may not benefit the team that's trying to snap the puck around on the power play. Pierzynski in the corner, hammered on the check by Avery Thompson. Puck still loose, though, and it's dished back to Tanner. Across to Timmer. He looked to connect over to Milok in the faceoff circle. Milok ran over Cunningham. Milok, a stuff try. Kuzak has the save, and Milok is getting swung at right now. Couple of rocks taking exception. Alex Lay among them. He was the one who went right after Milok, the captain of the Rangers. I think I said Cunningham earlier was who Milok ran over. It was actually Thompson, the defenseman, the freshman. Doesn't look like a freshman. He's got some size to him. And we have corresponding penalties from that scrum. Lay for Salem and Milok for Forest Hills Central. Milok pointed to his head when talking to teammate Hayden Tanner, his fellow senior. And it doesn't look like this is going to affect play. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. We've got a second penalty coming to Salem with Bo Fraley also in the box, along with Lay. Lay's penalty is the one that gets added on. I think Fraley was coincidental with Milok. But with 16:10 to go in the second, big chance for Forest Hills Central to extend its lead. It's going to be a 5-on-3, it appears. Unless something changes with the penalty enforcement after this discussion with the Salem coaching staff. Salem coached by Jake Seeley. And Seeley got his money's worth in that discussion. Not that he was that animated, but he wanted to know exactly why the Rocks got the extra minor from that situation. And it will be the extra minor, it appears. Okay, we've got it sorted, it looks like. Two-man advantage. The Rocks need to send one to the bench. They had 4 skaters out there. Thompson heads over to have a seat. Drop of the puck. Elliot Fricano wins the faceoff. Back to Magnus Kramer. The big man dishes it on over to Thomas. Pass far side. Fricano. Thomas, center point. Shot right over the bar. And it hops right over to Fricano. The right-handed shot, playing it out to the right. He's shooting Kramer as well. Kramer backside. One-timer by Fricano. Stop made by Ryder Kuzak. Fricano comes out of the corner, shoots short side. Stopped by Kuzak. The Rangers on the rebound, though. Kramer drags, fires, deflected. Loose in the slot, handed off, score! Nolan Timmer slams it in off the assist from Fricano. And it's a two-man advantage goal for Forest Hills Central. 3-1, 15:34 to go in the second. Timmer from Fricano, working the slot area, picking up the loose puck. Was Fricano, and then the setup to the side of the net. And not much Kuzak could do but hope the shot hit him, and it did not. 2-goal lead for Forest Hills Central. And the Rangers still have a power play, as Lay's penalty is still on the board. I never got what the penalty was. But anyway, Nolan Timmer scores his 3rd goal of the year. And Fricano has his 4th assist of the season. And there is Elliot Fricano driving wide, getting in behind the net, stopping there. 50 seconds left on the advantage. Kramer deals it across. Tanner to Kramer. Pressured immediately there out by the blue line by the Rocks, trying to force the turnover, but Walker steps in to take command. Kramer again. Shot pass to the front, but unable to be directed in front of the goal by Dupuis. Held in by Tanner, just barely. It was close. Handing off Fisher, the move, but the shot blocked by Fraley. Wiedenbach takes it back for Salem. 15 seconds left on the shorthanded situation. Turn it over to Dupuis. Backhand on goal. Save made. Loose in the blue paint and cleared by Wiedenbach. And he breathes a sigh of relief, it appears, as his head went down after he got that puck out. Raja Sekaran, who's got his first varsity goal. Dumped to the corner. Around for Fisher. Back to the side. Fisher stuffs it, but a save by Kuzak. And no further play. So that second power play over. Fisher gives the tap to Raja Sekaran, who's had a good game. Nearly his 2nd point of the game. So Cerny to take the face off. Players tie up. Puck comes loose all the way back into Forest Hills Central territory. Hooper drives it up the far wing. Sybinga, that's Benny Sybinga, allowed it to deflect off his stick. Dylan Wind, he scored first for Salem. It was 1-0 Rocks early in the first. 3 in a row, though, by the Rangers. Hanner tried to snipe it, but missed about a foot over the crossbar. Bateson reached for it. Couldn't get it with the blocker, didn't matter. Quaid with time and space. Cruising, downshifting Quaid. Pass directed up in the air and flagged down by Tommy Neal. Gave it away at center to Milok. Cutting inside, Milok, great move. Milok, save by Kuzak, big stop. Rebound, Timmer shooting. Another save by Kuzak, still available. Pierzynski takes it back. Timmer redirected just wide from the slot. I think Eichner got a stick on that for Salem. Tanner hammers it and right into the chest of Kuzak. 13:43 left in the second, and the Rangers are peppering the Rocks' goal. Slick move from Milok. He got through the entire Salem defense, but he could not beat Kuzak from point blank. The referee talking to the official scorer, and he informs Salem of something. Talking to the bench now is that referee on the far side. And Forest Hills Central gets appraised of it. Oh, the clock must have been stopped for a while. It's been wound down to 12:28 to go in the second. I think they took about a minute off. Milok picks it off high in the zone. A quick step into the corner he goes. Looking, feeding back out high, but Tanner had it skip under his stick. Bateson saucers the puck. Too high and hard for Przynski to knock down. Back to the blue, Michael Timmer snapping the shot, and he missed, and he goes tumbling over Avery Thompson, whipped right back toward the front by Milok, right through the top of the crease. Nobody home for Forest Hills Central. Thompson spun it around the wood. Obrakite can't clear for Salem. Milok full slapper on the windup, and it ends up in front of the goal. Przynski just misfired, aiming top left. Deflection play in front. Kuzak the stop on Sybinga this time, and the Rocks ice it. And Salem just looking for some respite here, trying to get possession of the puck back, but the Rangers have been whipping it around the offensive zone. .11.5 to play in the second. And Forest Hills Central starting to flex its muscles. Around the wing, Cunningham does clear for the Rocks. Cudrow takes it in flight on his off-wing side, but defended well by Luke Hooper. Rifled out of the zone by Walker, untouched by Eichner, and so icing the other way against the Rangers this time. Goals in this game for Forest Hills Central scored by Benny Milok, Noah Rajasekaran, and Nolan Timmer. That Timmer goal on a 5-on-3 power play. Out to the blue line, and it scoots by Eichner. Counterattack is on for Walker. Area pass, and Nolan Timmer couldn't get on the end of it. Bateson bunted it down the wall. Fraley intercepted, and Fraley drives it near corner. Hooper takes command. Far boards play. Timmer tried the one touch, didn't work. On the second opportunity, though, it scoots through to Fricano. Kuzak banged it right into traffic off the skate of Shembri, who reversed it. And the Rocks do have some room. Headman pass, deflected by Cunningham. Well, I thought he did, but apparently not. It's icing against Salem. Salem's only goal scored by Dylan Wind, his first of the season. Back just a little bit less than 3 minutes into the first period. So the Rocks had the early advantage, but that has been turned on its head by the Rangers, playing on their home rink today in the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. Back to the blue, Thomas. Forced it deep. Fisher centering in front, looking for Lars Dupuis, but knocked away at the last second by Thompson. Shoved up the far wing. Thomas defends it well. Fisher lays it into open space. Kramer lassos it. That's Thomas on the far wing. Rajasekaran doubling back to help out and does help win the puck. Kramer's pass in the skates of Rajasekaran. Icing against the Rangers this time. So play slows down. The flow taking a hit from all these icing calls. I was notified between periods while walking out in the concourse. Saw a lot of happy Bulldogs fans and players. Granville beat Houghton 4-3. So Granville splits the weekend. They lost to Trenton, beat Houghton. Another penalty, by the way, has been called against the Salem Rocks. And again, for the second straight time, it's Alex Lay having a seat with 9:43 to go in the second. Didn't see that call. Must have been behind the play. Sounded like cross-checking. Milok, drive, blocked in front, and rifled out by the Rocks all the way down the river. Back-to-back penalties for Alex Lay. And the first one led to a 5-on-3 power play goal for Forest Hills Central. Up the middle it goes, just barely out, and Tanner laid it all the way back for Milok to take. Drives it over into Timmer's corner. The breakout on the stick of Milok. Holds up there. Great pass across. Here comes the shot from Walker that's blocked out high. Timmer takes over. Timmer forces it toward the front. Loose puck in the crease and just off target on the follow-up chance. Milok retrieves. 52 seconds to go in the power play, rather. Milok, another forehand try, and that's off of Kuzak and right back to Milok. 8:20 remaining in the second. Just about halfway through regulation time. Tanner centering. Timmer couldn't direct it on target. Sybinga takes it, and we've got a penalty against Forest Hills Central. Pierzynski ran off a Rocks defender, and that will be interference. Oh no, excuse me. Hooking is the call, actually, so some stick work against Pierzynski. Either way, he was the one who cleared out some space there for Sybinga, illegally as it turns out. With 8:15 left in the second, we're evened up at 4-on-4 for the next 31 seconds. And then the Rocks will go to their first power play. And they need something like that to get a foothold in this game again. Wiedenbach sailing down right wing. Behind the goal, confronted by a couple of Rangers, but Caudreau takes over. Looking for a teammate during this 4-on-4 situation. Pursued heavily by Kramer, and that forces the dump in. Great hustle from Kramer to get on his horse. Wiedenbach down the boards. And right back to the Rocks line. Caudreau to Schembri, and the power play begins for Salem. Caudreau tried the outside in move. Didn't quite work out, but he still got to the puck behind the goal. Cunningham delivers it, turned over, intercepted by Walker, and he clears all 200 feet. The Rangers are changing, so here come the Rocks. Cunningham, shot rejected by the lunging Michael Timmer. Wiedenbach on his backhand. Driving wide and in behind. Wingrove knocked the puck out of the air and not able to be held in at the blue line by Fraley. He gets it back, rolling puck on the pass from Cunningham. Right back to Cunningham. Great cut inside, right to the doorstep. Big save by Bateson. Bateson pushed over so hard he had to stop himself from sliding into the corner there. But he made an outstanding move to close down all the space that Carson Cunningham had on the backhand side. Another line change on the penalty kill for Forest Hills Central. Again, a quick up. Caudreau in the middle, score! Wingrove as the Rocks catch the Rangers in a line change, and they score a PPG to make it 3-2. A power play goal, 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Jack Pierzynski. And we've got a one-goal game again. The Rocks are hanging in there. Special teams. It can make a difference. It does this time. But Rajasekaran breaks in. He scores again! 2-goal game for Noah Rajasekaran. And it's right back to a 2-goal lead for the Rangers right off the face-off after the Salem goal. An incredible shot into the top right corner. He stuck that right where he was looking. 2 goals, 10 seconds apart, 1 for each side. And the Rangers have their breathing room back. They didn't have to wait long. Noah Rajasekaran. Dupuis getting it on the forecheck with Rajasekaran and Grady Fisher. Loose puck, Dupuis. Wrister off of Schembry's body. He blocked it for Salem. Kramer shooting. Rajasekaran nearly deflected that toward the net. He's hot right now. Keep him out there. Walker centering. Rajasekaran scores the hat trick. He lifts it into the upper reaches of the net, and it's a mob scene right next to the Rangers bench. Tip your cap to number 22 in white. It's 5-2, Forest Hills Central. I told you, keep him out there. 2 goals in under a minute to cap the hat trick. Give Fisher the primary helper on the goal. And a beautiful finish right over the shoulder of Kuzak. Wasn't the easiest finish either, as the Rocks go right back at it. And it's knocked away. Charging down the left wing, Benny Sybinga. And he couldn't get it away from Bo Fraley. A surge of energy for Forest Hills Central. 3 goals. First 3 goals for Noah Rajasekaran, sophomore forward. Quaid coughed it up, but Cerny kept it in at the blue line, apparently. Under 5 to play in the second. Quaid circling. He tried to center it. That was blocked right back to him. Tanner, Wrister, and too much traffic to get through. Zielinski pins his man for Salem. Fraley, can he clear? He cannot. Michael Timmer stashed it back in deep. Quaid from the corner. The Rangers changing lines, and the Rocks ice the biscuit. 4:21 to go in the second. That's 3 goals on the board for the Rangers in this period. 1 for Salem, and that's expanded that lead out to 3 for the first time today. The depth coming through for Forest Hills Central. Milok wins it back. Milok has a goal today. He got the offense started back in the first. Sybinga drives it to the corner. It ends up behind the goal. Pierzynski, first man on that puck. Back to the blue. Wrister by Reed Bateson off the pad of Ryder Kuzak, and it deflects back out to center on that rebound. Sybinga chips it ahead, but from behind center red. Milok says there's no way. It was close. And the linesman trailing the play had the call. He had it the whole way, I'll say that. He was decisive about it. But that prevents what looked to be a promising rush. Well, not a rush, but a forechecking chance for Forest Hills Central, as it appeared that Milok was going to be first on that puck by a mile. But that is the reality of the rules at this level. You cannot beat out the icing call, if you will. You can't win that race. It doesn't matter. As long as it goes over the goal line, the whistle must sound. Pierzynski on a 3-man rush. Inside deal to Milok. One more pass. Back to Milok. Score! Great play. Sybinga got it to Milok. Side of the net. And Milok has 2 today. And it's 6-2. Rangers. 3:38 to go in the second. 5 on the season for Milok. And a 3-man rush worked to perfection. It was a thing of beauty. Milok from Sybinga and Pierzynski is how that goal should read. 4th goal of the frame for the guys in green. And new goalie in for Salem, Griffin Marshall, sophomore, takes over for Kuzak. Although on that goal, Kuzak did not have a chance. That was all about the attackers weaving their way through the Salem defense and setting up a tap-in. Put wide of the net. That was going to be icing, but Marshall decided he wanted to get a touch on the puck. Hard to blame him. First act into the game as the replacement goalie. The Rocks Wiedenbach. He's not giving up. He drives into the left corner, stops there, feeds it. Fraley, good pass, and Bateson, I think, made a save there on Edison. Gavin Edison trying to power that puck by him on the short side. Heard a little tink of iron as well. Might have been off the bottom of the post, too. Thomas in close quarters. Did get it out. Walker helped it into the Rocks zone. Walker tapping it ahead. Fraley can't clear. Lars Dupuis yanked a pass into the face-off circle, but that's intercepted. And it bounces all the way back down and rolls just wide of Nolan Bateson. He reverses it to Kramer up the near wing side. Holding Shembri. Not a lot of room there in the neutral zone, though. The Rangers all over it. Rajasekharan forces the turnover. 3 for Rajasekharan, 2 for Milok. And also a goal in this period by Nolan Timmer on the 5-on-3 power play. That's how the box score reads so far. 1:30 left in the second. Bateson with a kick save. Right back out on a slapper by Eichner. That missed the target. To the point, and Timmer, he shoots. Or excuse me, that was Shembri rather. Saved by Bateson, and Bateson has the rebound covered as well in that left-handed trapper. 1:16 remaining in the period. Barrage of offense for the Rangers in the second. Lighting up the scoreboard down to our right. Bateson tries to clear. Here's a 2-on-1. Milok with Pierzynski. Milok looking, feeding, deflected off the goalie. The new goalie, Griffin Marshall, and wide. Milok tried to fire it into the crease, but Marshall made the save on that too. I think that was a pass though. Given away. Snapshot from the angle by Seibinga that hit the outside of the goal. Under a minute to play in the period. Milok with Pierzynski. Pierzynski tried to clip it to the middle, and that was blocked down. Wiedenbach, can he clear? He can't. Hooper shot. Marshall the save. Unconscious there. I don't think he knew where the puck was coming from, but he held his ground on the short side post. Cunningham turned it over. The Rocks are changing. Delayed offside, wiped out after the Rangers clear. Pierzynski just trying to get off the ice. Milok guns a shot from outside the blue line that Marshall flagged down with the glove, and he hands off to Wiedenbach to try to escape the zone, and he will with 10 seconds to go in the second. Seibing a smash from behind. That'll be a penalty against Brady Codreau of Salem. And the Rangers back to the power play. Benny Seibinga appears to be all right, but that was a textbook check from behind with 4 seconds to go in the period. Second straight period that Salem takes a penalty right at the end. Last time it was with 1 second to go. This time it's with 4 seconds. Fourth power play for Forest Hills Central. Cerny trying to make it happen with 4 seconds left. Drop of the puck, loose. Quaid, the inward cut, but he couldn't get the puck through. And hoisted out by the Rocks' Lucas Zielinski as the buzzer sounds, ending the middle period. 4 in the second for Forest Hill Central. 2 of those by Noah Rajasekharan to finish his hat trick. Milok and Nolan Timmer also scoring. And it's 6-2 after 2. Salem's goal in the period netted by Ty Wingrove on the power play. One final break for our first game of the day on the East Rink at Patterson Ice Center. Back for the third after this at the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. Third period time from the East Rink at Patterson Ice Center. And the Rangers start the third on the power play, coming off the 4-goal second period, aiming to add some more. Bateson whacks it away with great disdain from the front of his net. Nolan Bateson hasn't seen a ton of traffic in front of him, but don't forget, Salem scored first in this game, and it was 3-2 before Noah Rajasekharan scored the second of 3 goals for him on the afternoon. Timmer a shot right into the belly pad of Griffin Marshall, and Marshall, who replaced Ryder Kuzak in that second period, makes a sharp save to begin the third. And there are still Salem Rocks walking to the bench around the perimeter of the rink. Some late arrivals. Guess the intermission was a little too quick for some. Sybinga helps it over to Milok. Milok's got 2, by the way. He's on hat trick watch. Timmer again a shot. He scores! Might have been deflected in front. In fact, I think it was. Judging by the reaction, Jack Pierzynski is going to get credit for this goal. He's first through the handshake line at the Rangers bench. Another power play goal for FHC. Michael Timmer shot it. Jack Pierzynski deflected it. Second assist of the afternoon for Timmer. 7-2 Rangers over the Rocks. And the Rangers, they can guide this one home safely. Looking at a 2-win weekend in the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. Another penalty coming, and it's roughing. Salem tried to get in on the forecheck, but Elliot Fricano is being escorted off the ice to the penalty box. Just the second penalty of the afternoon for the Rangers. Well, second penalty that's led to a power play. There was a minor issue to Benny Milok, but it didn't affect the play on the ice as it was coincidental with a member of the Rocks. Second power play for Salem. Snapshot, Bateson the save on Bo Fraley with Carson Cunningham running interference in front of the net. And when I say that, I mean legal interference. Providing the screen and maybe a tip. Kramer angles ahead, aiming for Nolan Timmer, shorthanded, but Timmer couldn't get to that. Fraley swivels to the outside. Dumped it around to the far corner. Tanner. Timmer, there's 2 Timmers and a Tanner. Doing my best handling all that. Cunningham overwhelmed by Michael Timmer. Tanner couldn't get a stick on that. From behind the net, Cunningham tried the wraparound, but that was stymied and cleared by the Rangers. Wingrove had a power play goal in the second. Dispossessed at center by Milok and company. Wiedenbach. One touch to Fraley, back to Wiedenbach. 43 seconds left on the power play. Wiedenbach shot. Hooper got his stick in the way to reject it. Fisher couldn't clear. Out top, blocker save on Wiedenbach by Bateson. And the loose puck battled for behind the net. Cunningham to the point, mishandled. Here's a breakaway for Walker. In on goal, he scores with a little chip shot under the crossbar. Short-handed goal. James Walker unassisted. 8-2 Rangers. So Walker's on the sheet. His 4th goal of the year. One behind Milok for the team lead. 14-18 to go in regulation, and it's a 6-goal advantage. And if the margin holds, this would be the biggest blowout of the tournament so far. Played wide of the Rocks net. It appeared that puck jumped a little bit just before Walker struck it with the forehand shot. Sometimes that can lead to you flubbing the shot. In that case, it might have helped it gain some quick elevation, giving Marshall no chance to get a glove on it. Thompson right in front of his own goal, and Zielinski just gets rid of it, and it goes for an icing against Salem. Well, the Rangers, who had lost 3 in a row coming into the weekend, amazing what 24 hours can do. In high school hockey, it can take you from slumping to feeling a lot better about yourself. Benny Sybingus, slugs it forward, and Fraley gets on the end of that for Salem, driving it ahead. Bump delivered on Quaid. That forces the turnover. The puck up for grabs, and it slithers out to center. Fraley turns it off the skate, though, of Jack Hanner. Michael Cerny takes over. This is Reed Bateson powering it ahead. Fraley does a pirouette behind his goal. Up the far wing, off of the stick of Luke Hooper. That nullifies the icing. J.J. Sybinga puts it into the path of Milok, but he couldn't quite get there. Now Milok's on the loose puck. Excellent pass from Hooper. Drives it around the wood. And the Rocks trying to take it off the kick plate, but they end up coughing it up at center. Thomas lost his balance, but still reached out to deflect that puck away from the on-charging Carson Cunningham. And it's Milok cruising right to the goal, and a score on the rebound. J.J. Sybinga shovels it in after Benny Milok did the work to create the separation. Sybinga makes it 9-2 with 12:06 left. And Milok has 3 points. Bateson's out of the game, by the way. Ben Grant is checking in for the Rangers to get some playing time. This will be his first action of the season. With a 7-goal lead, Coach McSween wants to get a look at his backup goalie. Thomas gets the secondary assist on the initial announcement, at least. And the puck iced by the Rangers unintentionally, but that'll draw the face-off back to our right. 3 goals in the period already for Forest Hills Central. So Ben Grant gets in the game, makes his season debut. Fricano clears for Central, but lugged back in by Wingrove. And the Rocks are going to try to test Grant, you know that. Wingrove bumped hard by Michael Timmer. Hayden Tanner, and a penalty coming against the Rocks. Looks like a slashing call on the way against Wingrove. He knocked the stick out of the hands of Fricano. And yes, slashing is the preliminary call from the referee at center ice. And the trouble just piling up for the Rocks. Wingrove for slashing. 11-12 remaining in regulation time. And the Rangers have a chance to make it double digits. Kramer loads it up for the shot. Deflected right to Fricano. Backhand save. Rebound. Great stop by Marshall. Keeping it out. Kramer scores, but no. Wash out the goal. Ruled goalie interference against James Walker, who was down on all fours in the crease. I think hard to argue with that one, especially considering the score of the game. Kramer did what you're supposed to do, though. If you see congestion and confusion in front, rip the shot. And he nearly had the goal, but wiped out. For Kramer, would have been his second of the year. Here's Walker, though, hopping on a loose puck and just misfiring. Kramer steps down the wall, all the way near the corner, overskated. Fraley, can he clear? He cannot. Kept by Fricano, at least momentarily. Now the Rocks try to get it out. They can't. Baffy had his pass deflected. He had Alex Lay ahead of the pack. Would have been a shorthanded breakaway, but the Rangers keep it alive. In the O-zone, Kramer, the smooth pivot, connects in the corner to Nolan Timmer. Speeds it around Luka Thomas. Drop for Fricano. Takes a look. Shoots. That hit his own man in front. Timmer. And lofted out of the zone by Wiedenbach. 1 minute to go on the power play. The fifth man advantage of the game for Forest Hills Central. They've got a power play goal. They've got a shorthanded goal. Do the Rangers of their 9 total. Lars Dupuis kicks to his stick. One-touch pass. Out high, Bateson. Reed Bateson to Rajasekharan, who has 3 in the game. Bateson, long distance snapper, and that's gloved and held by Marshall. Well, obviously the largest output of the season for Forest Hills Central. Previous to this, well, hold on that. Rajasekharan bidding for a 4th, missed short side. Now he puts it on net from the right circle, saved by Marshall. Loose puck, bouncing puck, got by Bateson. Ellis ran into trouble there at the blue line, 1-on-3 almost. Fisher takes it back. Fisher's got a couple of assists in the game. Lifts it ahead, relayed to Dupuis. Lars Dupuis' attempt. That's fended off by the Rocks. And cleared by Salem. Power play over. Bateson to his defense partner, Hooper. Previous to today, the biggest offensive output of the season for the Rangers was 4 in a 4-0 win here against Catholic Central. That's Grand Rapids Catholic Central on the 21st of November. They've outdone that by 5 so far. Tanner couldn't get the shot through from the point, but it stays in the attacking zone for the Rangers. And a backhand by Quaid, patted out by Marshall. Timmer steps up, and he's crunched. A leaping hit almost by Lay, but no penalty called on that. Ruled to be within the realm of legality. Sybinga angles it ahead for the Rangers. Marshall left it there, but there were no blue jerseys for a moment back behind the goal. Cunningham wheels to the outside. Area pass. Lay eventually gets to it in the corner, but he's stood up by Tanner. Cerny. Good pass. Near side Timmer. And Timmer's shot gloved and held by Marshall. I was checking in on the Grand Rapids Christian versus Capital City game. Capital City had a 3-1 lead in the second period, I believe it was. Thomas goes across, Kramer shooting, and an opportunity for Milok on his backhand side, but he missed. He has 2 in the game. Pierzynski, who has scored in this period, pumped it on target. Stick save by Marshall. Milok backpedaling, shooting off the glove of Marshall, who got atop his crease to cut down the angle. 7:13 to go in the third. The Rangers trailed 1-0 until midway through the first period. But they led 2-1 after one, 6-2 after two, and they have poured on 3 more in this third. Hanner sends ahead, away from the reach of Wind. Wind, one of the scorers today for Salem. Sybinga, that's JJ Sybinga. Ladles it ahead, Melock, gets around the edge, stopped by Marshall, and no further play as he gobbles up that puck. Right into his midsection, down on the butterfly. So Melock continues to get opportunities, keeps playing hard for Coach McSween. Bateson, wrister, off the blocker of Marshall, and it ends up on the back apron of the net, and that's an automatic whistle. Or at least it should be. 6:28 to go. The Rangers about to be back above 500 this season at 5-4. Blue line shot from Hooper, didn't get all the way through. Fricano turned it into the corner. And it hops around the boards, back out to Bateson. That shot missed too. Zielinski can't get out of his own end. Fricano closed down that escape hatch. Nolan Timmer, a back pass that's picked by Wingrove. Zielinski filters below the goal. Under 6 to play in this game. Ben Grant has not had to make a save yet in the Forest Hills Central goal since coming in for Nolan Bateson earlier in the period. That Salem shot missed from Obrakite. And the Rocks go back to retrieve behind their net. Fraley missed on that pass at center. Wingrove overskated. Cunningham to it. Smoked by Fisher. Puck comes loose to the Rangers. Fisher at his pocket picked. Timmer takes it right back. Angles it back. Hayden Tanner. Michael Timmer. Smooth little backhand. Fisher. Nudged it ahead. Raja Sekaran. Dupuis centering Fisher. And kind of a half-speed shot that missed the target. And then Fisher cross-checked A.J. Eichner. And that was detected by the referee behind the goal. Yep, pretty easy call that time. With 4:55 left, the Rocks get another look on the power play. Carson Cunningham, the centerman for the boys in blue. Up against Dupuis. Cunningham controls the draw. Tanner drives it around and out. Fraley to the puck. Bo Fraley looks up, and he's got a man wide open at the blue line. No, it's offside. Carson Cunningham left the sprinters' blocks a little early, as it turns out. That close to a breakaway chance on the power play. You never really see that because the penalty killers are typically back in a defensive posture. But in a 9-2 game, sometimes things can get a little looser than usual. This is Cerny at the face-off circle. Again, Cunningham gets the win at the dot. Thanks to Brad Verker for running the camera for a second consecutive game for us here at the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. Weird bounce in front. Marshall almost had to scramble back to make a save there on Benny Sybinga, but the puck didn't get into any kind of danger zone. Sybinga was lurking, applying some token pressure. Shorthanded. Cunningham centering. Intercepted, cleared by Kramer this time. Boy, Kramer's got to be about 6'5", I'd imagine. An imposing figure on the blue line for Forest Hills Central. Under 4 to go in the period, right to the front, and Salem's got a power play goal. Friendly fire deflection ends up in behind Ben Grant. So 2 PPGs for the Rocks. Cunningham centered it, went off a Rangers skate, and in to make it a 9-3 score. 3:42 left. Smoked out of the zone by Reed Bateson. Lars Dupuis forced the turnover there. Fisher, the beneficiary. He has the puck. Rajasekaran wanted to center it to Dupuis, but it's snatched away by the Rocks. Ellis on the move. The penalty time is still on the board, but we're back to 5-on-5. Save made by Grant. His first stop in a Rangers uniform. Rajasekaran, can he get it out? He can't. Hooper, though, joins the fray. Ellis couldn't poke it to Lay. Rajasekaran with a little bit of time. Lay missed on his hit. Rajasekaran clears. Michael Marcy, under 3 left in the third period. And the Rangers look up far wing. Dupuis, or excuse me, that's Quaid rather. Quaid on it. Cerny follows on. Drop pass. Benny Sybinga turns the face-off circle right to the front. Marshall the save as Carter Quaid got an extra whack in there. But no harm, no foul. Certainly no penalty from that. So Salem will drop both games on the weekend, and the Rocks will be 1-6. Bit of a scramble off the draw, held back to the blue line by Quaid. That's offside against the Rangers. Up next for Salem, a rare Tuesday game against the Huron Valley Titans out at the Titans' home facility, Lakeland Ice Arena. That's where Huron Valley is based. Kramer flushed it ahead. Benny Sybinga taken on Fraley, but Fraley got the better of him there in the one-on-one situation. Hanner can't clear. Tommy Neal will escort the puck out to center, but he's stripped. Sybinga up the near side, away from Cerny's reach. Bo Fraley, it's his turn to carry. Gets it over the line. Nice pass near side. Edison, save made by Grant. And that elicits a roar from the Forest Hills Central bench. Nice stop by Ben Grant. Gets a couple of taps on the helmet. Looking ahead for Forest Hills Central, next Friday, they host Clarkston. The Wolves come in, and then OK Rue Division tussle with Grand Rapids Christian on Saturday. That's at 7:30. So a couple of games at Patterson here. And in fact, Central will play East Grand Rapids, their rink rival, on the Wednesday before Christmas break. Before the Rangers head to Lansing, they'll take on the Capital City Caps. And also the Howell Highlanders at Munn Arena on the campus of Michigan State University. So still a lot of games left for the Rangers before they take a little break for Christmas. Following that game against Howell at Munn, they won't be back on the ice until the 2nd of January. Snapshot from the slot by Zielinski, deflected to the sideboards. In fact, the Rangers are going all the way up north to historic D Stadium to play the Houghton Gremlins, who are part of this showcase as well. They'll play Houghton Next night they'll be at Calumet to face off with the Copper Kings. So a UP trip to start 2026. 30 seconds left in this one. Eichner looking to get that puck through to the front. Too many bodies between him and the net. 20 seconds remaining. Thomas got in the way of that pass for Salem, or from Salem, as Cunningham takes it back. Wiedenbach a move to the middle. Couldn't tee up his man at the side of the net, Alex Lee, icing against the Rangers. 7 seconds remaining. And of course, for OK Conference teams, all this leading up to the OK Tournament, which will be the second annual version. It was a big hit last year. Grant makes one final save. Toss near the front of the net. It deflects high in the slot, and the buzzer sounds, ending the game. Rangers win. Rangers win 9-3. Hat trick for Raja Sekaran. 2 goals and an assist for Benny Milok. Couple of points for Jack Pierzynski. Couple of points for Michael Timmer. Just looking down the list, J.J. Seibinger picked up 2 assists. 2 assists for Grady Fisher. And Ben Grant makes his Rangers debut at the end of the game. That was a big hit among everyone on the home bench today. So Forest Hill Central now 5-4. They've won 2 in a row. Salem drops to 1-6 as these 2 teams are all done for the weekend here on day 2 of the West Michigan Hockey Showcase. We appreciate your viewership and your continued attention to high school hockey in West Michigan. Thank you for supporting it. I'm Matt Gajtka. Good night. God bless. Talk to you next time for more, wherever it may be, across the OK Conference.